Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. It is almost the last week of April. I think it's the 23rd, or 24th. The baby and I are on a little cruise. Let me turn the camera around so you can see him. Hey, little man. It is an absolutely beautiful morning. He's about ready for his morning nap. So I'm going to take you guys around and do a little spring updates tour of the garden and the yard. There are some really exciting things growing and a lot of destruction. I did not do any fall garden work or yard work last fall because I was very heavily pregnant. So my garden has done well fall apart. It's basically the long and the short of it. Hey, we got some stuff to do. So it's going to be a big project. I'm going to take it one tank at a time. That's the benefit of having all my gardening in a tank. I can just do one little section at a time while the baby naps. But I want to give you a before and an after. So we're going to walk through and look at all the befores because sometimes you just need to know that not everybody's garden space is ready for spring when spring comes around. And our last frost date is the end of May. So I almost have an entire month yet before I can start planting my tender things. So I've got time, but as probably most of you know, time goes really fast when you have a little one. So, without further ado, you can start napping and I will start taking video. Okay? You got a smile for him? Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. So here's the garden. I've decided I am not a fan of just the 2-rail fence. I would prefer it to be a 3 or a 4-rail. So that's something on my project this year. I also want to put in an arch here. That was a little high, probably right up in there. So I can have some climbing roses. I think some climbing roses on either side would be a really beautiful addition to this garden. Come on, little man, here we go. I gotta get this gate hung, but if I'm gonna put in climbing sides, then I don't need to hang it on those posts. All right, I will park you so you're not in the sun. There you go. The brake's on. You good? Yeah? Okay. So this corner had mostly annuals in it. I don't think I had a couple perennial lavenders in the corner here. I don't think they're coming back. It's a little early yet. They might be, but we had some aggressively frozen days. It was really cold there for a while. So I haven't even cleaned up my tomatoes yet. Oh, I gotta take these gloves off. They're hurting my fingers. Hold on. Ouch. I desperately need some new garden gloves. These are the ones that I pulled out of the drawer. I think these are for hanging tin. They're rubber. Oh my goodness, they hurt my hands. We're not wearing those. I didn't even get any of my old plants cleaned up at all. This box needs to go on the burn pile. This corner got ravaged by a cow. Here, you can see my shadow. So all the tomato plants, and I've got manure weeds coming in real strong. I didn't even get my soaker hoses cleaned up last year, so I'm probably going to have to buy all new soaker hoses. We'll see. I might be able to patch them. The great big tall sunflower. Here we've got the raspberry plants we planted about mid to late spring last year. I don't see any growth on them yet. A lot of manure weeds. This tank is the one that I had cabbage and some potatoes and onions in, and my rhubarb in the middle is coming back. It needs cleaned up really badly. The wind took this container from over here and ended it over here. We had some major storm weather here and there. A cow knocked this one over that got loose. In my strawberry bed, I have some asparagus and I have some onions that didn't get picked last year. I see I have a little strawberry plant trying to poke through. This one. I've also got hollyhock there and there and there. Some grass. I need to clean these hollyhocks up here. Here is my raspberry bush that is not popping yet. Hopefully it will. The pavers that we did last year, I had a serious gopher issue, which he did a lot of damage to my garden last year, and I just wasn't out here enough to notice. So I'm going to have to lift my pavers in some places and reset, because you see he just gopher mounded right through the cracks, which I did not expect at all. I've got an empty tank here that I need to fill with dirt, an empty tank there I need to get in here and fill with dirt. My potato tank is actually not growing weeds, which is awesome. I had a rogue bunny out and about on the ranch for, well, all of last year. And evidently he figured out that there was still some treats in the tanks. I've never had trouble with bunnies getting up in my tanks before, but he fairly well fertilized every one of my tanks. Let's see here. It's been a long time since I've done a garden video. I'm having trouble thinking of what to say as I go. I've got a little asparagus popping here. I don't know if you can see the green, but I really desperately need to get the old asparagus cleaned up so the new asparagus can come through. Like I said, the bunny was been fertilizing. I'm not sure that that rhubarb is going to come back. And the bunny, he didn't make it. One of our really cold snaps, I noticed that he was no longer with us. We got a really, really bitter cold snap. This one had tomatoes in it last year, so I'm not expecting anything in there. It needs cleaned out. The trellis had cucumbers and beans on it. I need to move it. I don't really like it there. I've got a couple of old chairs that need to hit the burn pile. This is the lid off of my fire pit, which is clear in the heck over in the yard, which we've also had a raccoon issue as of late. And I don't know if it's funny to anybody else, but it's funny to me because I can just picture this raccoon taking off with this fire pit lid and getting this far and realizing he wasn't going to be able to take it up over the windbreak. That's a really long ways. It didn't blow over here. It's heavy. What else have I got? Oh, my trees. Oh, my poor trees. So the gopher that messed up my pavers ate some of the roots out of my mulberry tree and killed the main stem. So now it is a mulberry bush. And I don't know what I'm going to do about it because I'm not even sure the shoots on the sides will create fruit. Because they're kind of like, what do they call them? Water shoots. But it can't stay here, I don't think. Haven't really decided what I'm going to do with it yet. We had a snowbank here that came off of the top all the way down here for several months. So I'm surprised that the mulberry bush actually made it because the aspen tree did not. It's a rough winter. This rhubarb is coming back. Oh, there's my shadow. And the most surprising thing is that I have lettuce coming up everywhere. All this little light green is lettuce. I let one lettuce plant in this container go to seed last year. And I have got lettuce coming up all over the place. Everywhere. Hello. So yeah, lots and lots of garden cleanup to do. I'll take you and show you the yard here in a little bit. So here at the front, this aspen tree is getting so tall. I don't know if you guys remember when I planted this, but it was only like 4 feet tall. It grows so fast. And I had a rogue cow snap off that trunk. I'm not sure if I'm going to cut it off at the bottom or what I'm going to do about it. I don't see any mums coming back here yet, but it's quite early. Hey, Ringo. I'm breathing hard. It's because I'm toting the munchkin here. Because I was going to get the pickup, but then it's not quite time yet. I've got my Espoma products ready to roll. You're headed out to the garden. The tulips are coming up. I wasn't sure if I was going to have any tulips come up because there was about 5 feet of snow sitting on them most of the winter. I've got some sedum coming up about under the window there. And here I have some other things coming up that I don't even know what they are. Went and forgot. The deck project is at a standstill. I'm trying to seed the yard. I had Miles come through and scrape the bumps off, but it's not taking to the seed very well. It's been pretty cold. Can I set you here, little man? I've got tulips coming up in bunches in this bed. My delphinium is popping in 2 places. It's going to be pretty. Really excited about it. I've got it. Well, this isn't a delphinium. I don't know what that is. This one is, though. I think my rose bush died. I think it may have been under too much snow for too long. It was under about 5 feet of snow a good portion of the winter. I've got some lilac starts I need to dig out. The big grass that we got, I'd have to look in to remember what it was, is coming back. And so are my 2 salvias that we got on the dollar sale last year. But that pretty much sums up this bed. Let me grab the baby. Oh, you can really see the seed on the yard because I went through last night and added some oats to it that I had in the garage. Might as well have something else planted on there. The birds and the wind are picking my grass seed over pretty heavy. In this bed, I've got some tulips popping there. Everything needs cleaned up pretty bad. Some tulips popping behind this wheel right in there. My beautiful honeysuckles all lived and they're going to come on back. The aspen from my mother-in-law's is going to live. If you can see, it's got buds on it. Another honeysuckle. Got interrupted there, but we're back. I've got a red twig dogwood here, and I think it's alive. I'm not really sure. It doesn't have any buds yet, and it looks like something ate all the tips off. I'm not sure about that. I've got something growing here that I have no idea what it is. I don't really remember planting something there, so that's interesting. I have to look back and see what I planted. I don't know if this grass here has anything coming. Oh yeah, there's a little green in it. It might come back too. And then the last one on the corner here is honeysuckle. These are some of my favorite plants ever. I'm so happy that these decided to like it here. They've probably tripled in size. We're going to extend this bed out. So it's going to come around here. And so I'm going to put probably a flowering crabapple in there and some roses. And this bed, remember, is all green, white, and yellow. Those are the only colors in this bed besides the red dogwood, but I mean for like flowers colors. Whereas this bed over here is pinks and purples and blues and pretty much all the colors. And that pretty much sums up my yard and garden. It looks like my lilacs are all going to bloom this year. They've been nipped off with cold the last few years and I haven't got to see them bloom, so I'm excited to see them bloom again. And other than that, I've just got a few seeds started inside. So thanks for walking around and doing a garden tour with me for April, and I will see you guys when I start actually doing cleanup.